fighters in London.
Shout out to Luke Campbell, the 2012 Olympic gold medalist over there. He just fought Jorge Leonidas. I felt like if it wasn't for that knockdown, it should have been either a draw or he should have won by a point. It was a close fight. I give him credit. Actually, I sparred with Luke Campbell, great champion.
Nice.
I sparred with him back in Florida because he used to train. He stays training over there in Miami, and I've done work with him. I actually, if I had left during the time he was getting ready for Jorge Leonidas, but I did spar with him a couple times before I left. But he's a good man, and I hope he just comes back stronger. I mind a setback for a major comeback.
Now, tell me about your core team. Who do you mostly work with? Of course, your dad, but not everyone knows that. So tell me about your whole entire team.
My team is very small. That's the way I like it. The bigger the entourage, it's not good. But starting with my father, he's my coach. Also my strength and conditioning coach. So he puts me on. He's my boxing coach, everything. And as for, it's very small. My team is very small, and my mother. But it's all in the family. My mother, she does my nutritioning, and she takes care of my food, and she's always watching my intake and food and everything. So that's really it. I'll be honest. That's all I need, to be honest.
That's all you need.
I mean, in time, when it comes to it, I'll get a chef. That way, my mom can know, and she'll learn and pick from that. But for right now, that's my whole team.
Awesome. So actually, within the next 5 years, do you have like a 5-year plan of how many weight classes you're willing to go up, not go up, or down? Do you have like a 5-year plan or so?
We don't know the future, To be honest, it's like I'm 20. I'm still growing.
Yeah.
I'm not fully developed yet.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that is scary about me. I'm a kid when I'm outside, but when I fight, I'm a man.
Right.
I look like a man. I fight like a man. But in reality, I don't know. 5 years, we see what happens. I know I'll be world champion before then. I'll probably be a multi-champion, in multiple divisions. I think the highest I'll probably go up throughout my whole career, probably be 160.
Okay.
Even 168. My father was big, Big.
Yeah.
He was weighing like 175, 200 and something pounds.
Because I see like muscle maturity spread pretty much like every 5 years in a fighter, like that 25, when you reach 25, get that spread, 30, 35 again, that that muscle mass changes. So
it changes. Our body, the way we want to eat changes every 7 years.
Yeah.
So things like that, So in 5 years, I got to say, I'll be world champion before then, and we'll see where it takes me from there.
When you are like in your camp, how much weight do you try to not cut? What's your maximum, like you don't want to cut? That's
Well, I don't go up that much. That's the thing. Like the most I'll go up is 10 pounds, and that's a lot for me. Usually I'll be 7 pounds over my weight limit, anything like that. But I try to cut. I try to stay around my weight throughout my whole camp. That way I'm comfortable at that weight. I do spar with older, heavier fighters and everything. That way when I fight anybody in my weight class, it's nothing big to me. It's a big difference though, in the fact that when they punch me, I don't really feel it.
Right.
But I try not to go I don't try to go up.
Yeah. So far, in your early career, what have you noticed that you've already started doing better than you did at the beginning of your
My
career?
body shots, placing punches, and also my jab. All those three things, combine them together, that's what makes Teofimo Lopez and even better. But of course, but my speed has always been there.
So how much does your strategy now play into your pro bouts? Is it more or less versus the amateurs? Do you have how's that blueprint versus an amateur blueprint?
I feel better as a professional. I get to place my punches, like I said. I look for my shots, I set them up. It's a bait. I get to take my time a little bit with them. Even though it's 3 minutes still, and that's the same thing I was doing in the amateurs. Biggest difference is that I'm knocking these guys out, and the judges can't take that away from me.
There you go. Yeah, never let it in the hands of the judges.
Yeah.
Know. So tell me about like your past camps. Who have you sparred with?
Luke Campbell, Sean Porter. Who else? Ashley Thea Payne. Yes. Champions, just great champions I've sparred with. Sparred with tough opponents. I sparred with Devin Haney too. He's very known. I sparred with him twice. It was fun for me.
What is that face? What happened?
Because, you know, people hype these guys up,
Right.
put them in a certain way, but when Teofimo comes in, it's a whole different story.
Oh, who's got that footage? Who's got the footage on their phone?
Not to take anything away from this, not to take away anything from them, but, you know, he's young, he got a lot to develop, you know. I try to give him a little something, but, you know, these guys are not at my level.
There you go. So now being out here in Vegas, you know, how's that, you know, played into your workouts, being out here now? And
you see, I'm in Top Rank.
Yeah.
I'm in Top Rank's gym, and basically my gym, you know. And I like it here, man. I love the atmosphere. I love the way it is. I love the way that, you know, you're strictly on your main thing, and that's to be world champion, but also at the same time, you're dedicating yourself. And now I understand why Floyd moved to Vegas, you know.
Okay.
You stay away from everybody. You get away from all the people, the entourage, everybody. And then you just by yourself. You know, I come here, I train, I do what I do, I go home, I go watch a movie with my family, anything like that. You know, I'm a family man. So I love to do that. And I'm just thankful for everything.
What is your biggest challenge so far?
My biggest challenge? I don't have any.
What?
I don't have a challenge, nah. My biggest challenge, to be honest, is me. Only I could be myself. Only I could stop what I'm doing. But of course, God, that's health, and you know, without health, I'm not gonna do what I have to do. So, but really, my biggest challenge is who's gonna be there. Which Teofimo? Who's gonna be there when I'm fighting? You know, is it gonna be the one that's always smiling and just playing it off and going out there and do what he does, or is it gonna be a guy that's gonna choke?
Right. So we were just talking about this again because it happened again in UFC. Heather Hardy, the boxer, going into MMA. So that came up again Sunday morning. I was on the show, The Final Bell, and so that came back up again.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, one kick to the nose, and you know, just that was gross. How do you feel about like, you know, all this mixing and like, you know, of course, you know, Mayweather, you know, McGregor, now Heather Hardy, and how do you feel about this, you know, MMA and boxing, when boxers going to MMA?
It sets it off right there. It sets it off right there. When MMA fighters want to come and into our sport, they're gonna lose. If we go to their sport, we're gonna lose. It's just the difference. There's nothing to it. You know, we don't do kicking. We know about punching. They want to learn how to fight, and they want to learn how to fight standing up. We don't. They know how to fight. They know how to do ground and pound and everything. I just understand why these boxers. She was undefeated, right?
Yeah, she's a world champion. Yeah.
I don't understand why go to UFC for what? To show that that you could beat anybody at UFC too? No. I'll get my butt kicked in the UFC. I don't care. I say it because I don't kick. I don't do none of that.
Yeah, we were having all that talk.
Though, I mean, this is me, you know, my opinion. Doesn't have to be you know, people take it too personal, but as a me, I feel like you could learn UFC or MMA, anything that the art, you could learn that. You could learn that. You could become world champion and all that. In boxing, you can't. You either got it or you don't. This is not a sport that's why you do boxing. You can't play boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, you do MMA, but in reality, I mean, elbowing and kicking, anybody could do that. I'll be honest. If you teach me a year, 2 years of doing that, I'll be up there.
All right, so you can start calling out people more like sports. And then one quick one, you know, what does separate Teofimo Lopez from the rest of your division?
I mean, it speaks for itself. The way I come into the ring.
Tell London, tell Europe.
The way I come into the ring, the way I place my shots, the way I'm so developed at a young age. Only 7-0, 6 knockouts. So early in my career, and you could tell that it looks like I've been there for years. That's just the difference. The difference between Teofimo and all these other fighters and all these prospects coming up. I do not fight like an amateur. I am professional. I don't need time to develop me to be adapted to professional stage. No, I am not. That's not my style. My style is not amateur-like at all. Since I've been 8 years old, since I started fighting competition, 8 years old, my style has never been as an amateur. And it took me, and I've gotten to the highest pinnacle of amateur boxing, which was the Olympics. Although they ripped me off in the first round, I still kept on fighting, but that's the difference. Teofimo Lopez is just one of a kind, the one that you see every 20 years or 25. I was born with this, but also boxing chose me. See, these athletes, these fighters, they're great champions, yes, but they chose. If you ever hear them, they be like, you know, I chose this. I chose this life. Nah, I didn't choose this. They chose me.
How did you get discovered by Top Rank?
How did I get discovered by Top Rank? Miguel Diaz, which was a cut man. He's a cut man, and also Frank Stay.
Okay.
So both of them from Top Rank. You know, everybody had their eyes on the. Everybody had their eyes on the Olympics during that time, 2016. You know, because you want to get the best Olympics coming out. But that's how they discovered me. They talked to Todd DeBoof, Bob Arum, and you know, because those guys are too. You know, they're high up.
Yeah.
You know, they let everybody else do their job.
You're close with Bob, aren't you? When I saw you in New York.
Bob, you know, I love Bob, man. Bob Arum, you know, I'm thankful for, you know, being with Top Rank. It was a decision I had to make. I had different options. I had, you know, Rock Nation, Lou DiBella Entertainment, so things like that. I had decisions and options, but I decided to go with Top Rank, and I feel like it was the best option for me. And Bob Arum, you know, every time I fight at Madison Square Garden, I just feel like, you know, it's only best that, and it's only right that I dedicate this fight every time I'm at the Garden for him and to him. Since he's from Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, I feel like I think it's just right. So Bob Arum, you know, he's definitely gonna see me become world champion very soon, and you know, we're just gonna enjoy it.
So who do you want next? Give me that list.
Listen,
we want to know.
I'm gonna be honest. Look, I'm not here to say that anybody's better than me, and so with that being said, nobody's better than me. It's just that's the bottom line. This is not the sport to come and say that I feel like, you know, this guy has a good competition with me. No, I am the best, and I'm there to prove it, and I'm gonna show everybody. And no matter what it is, whether you like me or you don't like me, you're still gonna watch me. That's just the bottom line.
Okay.
I want everybody in 135 division, everybody at 140, whatever it is. I know I'm going to 140. Maybe not now. You know, let me get a title. Let me win the title at 135. Now I'll go up. I'm a big 135 pounder.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know, because I remember like seeing you fight like 132s and stuff like that, and I'm like, what do you do? You chop off your head?
I'm a big 135 pounder, and
Yeah.
I'm only getting. It's crazy that I'm developing even more. I'm getting stronger. My punches, feeling. I want to let them out. I want to.
Yeah.
I feel like harder shots, you know. But I want everybody, all these young prospects, 2016 Olympians. They don't got nothing on me. It's just bottom line. And it speaks for itself, whether they like it or not. You know, I'm not here. You know, sometimes I be too humble with these guys. You can't be nice. You know, they want to make it a competition, and there you have it. You can't beat me. You know you. And this is for all the 2016 Olympic prospects. You can't beat me. You're not better than me, and it's the truth. That's the difference. And whether they like it or not, if you don't like it, we fight.
There you go.
And
Something to fight about.
see it.
Go. All right, Dad. So, thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and your son. This is your opportunity. Tell us about Teofimo Lopez.
Well, I think by far he's the best prospect out of the Olympics of 2016. I mean, he's showing it, making everybody look easy. I mean, he's one of the kids that goes in the ring, and everything he does, he knows what he's doing. He's just not throwing punches in there. He's very smart, very fast, very strong. He's developing faster every fight. I see him stronger. You know, he just turned 20, you know, July 30th of this year, and you know, and he's just starting. I mean, he doesn't have his full capacity yet. But he's developing fast. I mean, I tell everybody to look at tape and look at, you know, because they telling me, oh, you know, he's your kid. Of course, you're gonna be talking good stuff about him, you know. But all you have to do is go look at tape on YouTube, and you look at all the greats. You know, they ain't doing what my son is doing. Period. Their first 5, 6 fights, 7 fights, 7-0, 6 knockouts. But the way he's moving in that ring, the way he's not getting hit, the way he's moving around the ring and hitting and not getting hit, the quickness, the smartness, making it look easy. I mean, top fighters like Floyd Mayweather and all these fighters weren't doing that their first 7 fights. That's all I'm saying. You know, he's just developing faster than any other person I've seen. And I studied a lot of boxing, you know. The only reason why he's doing everything that he's doing is because I grabbed everything since he was small from all the greatest. I mean, Floyd Mayweather was a big inspiration for us, you know, on defense and the way he moved and quickness. And I implemented that in my son. Also, a lot of fights like Mike Tyson, you know, like I always say it, he's like a Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather put together, you know, because he's a very aggressive fighter. As soon as the bell rings, he's hitting you every 2 seconds, every second with accuracy. You know, doesn't miss. He hardly misses. He hardly gets hit. You know, if he gets hit twice in a round is a lot. You know, and ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody has ever done that. So I just want everybody to, you know, keep an eye for Teofimo Lopez and watch him in the future. He's 20 years old with Top Rank. He's 7-0 with 6 knockouts. And just big things are coming, you know. He was born in Brooklyn, representing Honduras in the Olympics 2016. I thought he could have went far, but you know, he just got a bad decision, you know. You know, he's just had a bad amateur experience because they're always holding him down, you know. But he always found a way to get to the Olympics, and he did, even though he won the Olympic trials here in the United States in 2016. So, you know, it's just a matter of time before, you know, he becomes world champion in multiple divisions. Look out for Teofimo Lopez, best prospect out of the Olympics. And I'm his father, Teofimo Lopez. I've been training him. And I mean, I talk what I see, you know. Best fighter out there for me right now is my son. And that's what I believe in. I know boxing, I see boxing. I've been studying boxing all my life. And you know, the best way to study boxing and implement it on your fighters is by watching the greats and taking what they have best and implement it on your fighters. That's the way I learned. Nobody taught me how to coach. That's the way I learned, you know. And it's just been the best ever since, you know. He's had 170 amateur fights with only 20 bad decisions that I've seen. And to me, he never loses, you know. He's just had one of those. It's one of those kids that, you know, that works very hard to where he's at right now, and he's not going to give up, you know. A lot of these kids, they've been given everything, and they're showing it right now, you know, in the pros. You know, they're showing that they were given everything in the Olympics, and they were given everything in the amateurs. You know, when you take everything from a kid that works so hard, and he just keeps on going and going and going, he's going to be the best, and it's showing right now. So, you know, the future of boxing is Teofimo Lopez, and I just want everybody to check him out, and that's all I got to say right now. Ready.
Kid, these little cutie pies here. So first video. All right, what do you think? How many times do you think you've been punched in the face?
How many times I've been punched in the face?
What do you think?
Shoot, throughout 14 years?
There you go, what do you think? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not punch drunk, so I haven't been hit a lot. Let's say, can't lie. Shoot. All right, when I fight, I get hit like one.
You're like, when you fight?
When I fight, I get hit maybe 1 or 2, 3 times. Max.
I can believe that.
You can believe that, right?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
They don't even pass, you know,
yeah,
those amount of rounds. Also because I always defend myself.
So that makes a whole total 12?
Yeah, it could be 12. And if we want to say throughout my whole thing, I don't know, 100, 500.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
500 times.
nothing like a question from a 6-year-old to throw you off. All right, next one from the 719 fight team.
How many calories do you change?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. How many hours I train?
Yep.
I train 4 to 6 hours every day.
Not too
I
sure.
have like 3 sessions, so I have separate times to do it. Like I'll work out in the morning, box in the afternoon, and then late at night, my last session will be basically going to the gym and doing strength and conditioning.
And is this during camp or just your regular schedule?
Regular schedule.
Awesome. All right. Next question from the 719 Fight Team.
What's your favorite combination in a fight?
Your
My
favorite combination during a fight?
Well, it's always the jab. The jab's always the start. So I start with my jab. It'll be 1, 2, and then left to the body.
Nice. I've seen that a few times too. How do you get your motivation to do what you do?
You know, faith, man. I just always had that in me. Like I never stopped, never gave up. This ain't my thing is I believe I'm not meant for here. I think none of us is meant to be working a 9 to 5. You know, anything like that. So I'm thankful to be where I'm at. That's what motivates me, to know that I can help and motivate, you know, my family and everything. But also my father, he motivates me to do better and become better.
He's good at that. Next question for the 719 Fight Team.
Why is fighting important to you, and what is the most important thing about fighting?
Aww. Did you get that?
Why is fighting important to you, and what is the most important thing about fighting?
What's the most important thing?
You should have 7. They ask better questions on these interviews.
They're
than
fight
these news
team.
reporters.
I know. They're in the fight team, so they know what's up.
What motivates me I like fighting because I just feel like I didn't choose boxing, you know, it chose me. So that's why I feel like I was just meant for it. And what motivates me, what makes me keep on going and why I want to keep fighting for it is because I want to change that life cycle that I have with my family. That way they don't have to work a 9 to 5 with anybody and they could just do what they want to do, what they love to do. So, and that way the same thing that I'm doing, I want to give that back.
Excellent. All right. Another question for 719 Fight Team. You're being grilled today by 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. This is awesome.
For real.
Why did you start fighting?
When did I start fighting?
I think that was why. Oh, why? This one's why.
Why did I start fighting? Like I said, my dad brought me into the gym. My dad, he was boxing at the time. My dad was trying out. You know, my dad was like a street fighter. He would knock everybody out, so he was one of those guys that want to try it in the ring, see what they could do.
See it.
Yeah. So my dad, he was a heavy puncher, so that's where I get it from. But he brought me in the gym when I was well, he's always had me have the feeling of boxing since I was like 3, because that's when my dad started. He started when I was around that time when I was born, and but I really started when I was 6. My dad went to the gym. We had just moved to Florida, and he went to the gym and I did the pads. He went to go park the car, and when I got back, I already knew the combination, and that's when he knew, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna just dedicate my life to him and his boxing.
That's awesome. Park the car and you get a world champion.
There you go.
Good job. You're a good parker, Dad.
What did you have the past 5 years?
How many fights I've had in the past
yeah.
5 years? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
All right.
I know. Your 5
I've
years cover a lot for you.
I've had in the past 13 years as an amateur. Well, from 8 to 19, I had 170 amateur fights.
Yeah, because I tried counting that up and I'm like,
So in 5 years, we're talking about, I probably have had maybe close to 100.
nice.
What do you think before your match? Say it again. What do you think before your match?
What do you think before your matches?
I don't say this a lot, but what I do is that I feed positivity into my head all the time, and I just when they give me the mouthpiece, I walk back and forth, and I just say I'm the best. Ain't nobody faster than me. Nobody's smarter than me. Nobody's stronger than me. So I feed all that positivity into me, and I really believe it. So when I go out there, that's why I'm never nervous, because I already know they can't beat me. I'm too smart. I'm too fast, and I'm too strong.
Right? When I see you walk out, I mean, you're the guy that's smiling.
Yeah, that's
always smiling. I love it.
That's what I love to do.
I love a guy's fight face as a smile, because that's actually scarier.
I was wondering how long it took you guys to get where you are today.
Well, it's been a lifelong.
It's been
Yeah.
a long journey.
Yeah.
winning everything, and I still didn't get my fair share, and I still had to fight for it. So,
Right.
and I'm still not there yet. Of course not. So we still fighting.
We're still fighting our way up.
So how do you guys not black out and into the fight and not participate?
How we not black out?
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the difference between an athlete and a God-gifted fighter. We know how to stay composed. We know how to
Right.
not let the crowd get to us. That's the different things. It's those little things, those little tactics that get you, that could get you thrown off and get knocked out. Or you stay composed and know that, you know what, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm the best at what I do. So really, I don't black out, but I do have a tunnel vision. So I black everybody out basically. So I just block everybody, and all I'm focused on is that one fighter.
Awesome. Well, that's it from 719. Let's send him a quick video, if you don't mind, to 719 by saying hello real quick. Did this with Amir Khan. It's really fun.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Hey guys, how are you doing in 719? I'm out here with Teofimo Lopez. He just answered all your questions. Anything you'd like to say to the kids?
Nah, I just want to say, keep being in the gym. You know, get your good grades. You know, shout out to 719 Fight Team, right?
Yep, you got it.
There you go. Teofimo Lopez, thank you guys for the questions. It was amazing. For a young age, I got to say you guys are well developed. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay in the gym. You see me. I don't smoke. I don't drink. You shouldn't either. So just do good in school and have fun with everything that you're doing.
Mom, don't forget to say, make sure to click the subscribe button and make sure to thumbs up. Bye.